trying to find a different name for myself instead of saying heinous Winston. I am the Ashkenazi atheist. I don't think it makes a difference either way. But welcome everybody. It's the 12th of June 2022, and the topic of this stream is just
welcome everybody to the present. What you're watching is a live stream from last summer, June of 2022, just to sort of get the flavor of what's going on here. Well, I'll let myself from June 2022 explain everything. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for joining. And let's have some Justin Downing.
Justin Downing. To be exact, is Justin Michael Downing.
Is that soft?
He's a real piece of work. For
Isn't
those
it?
who are not familiar with this piece of human detritus, human garbage,
Ooh.
I'll give you a quick runner.
Let me see if I can change that.
As
I'll see if I can change that
understand.
sound there.
Justin Downing is born into a Christian family. He somehow rejects he somehow rejected Christianity because of, okay, this is my speculation only. He rejected Christianity because of not being able
How's
to
that?
make sense of
How's
the
that?
Trinity. However, he always had this
A little louder?
warm, fuzzy feeling in his testicles that God actually exists.
In his testicles, really?
After rebelling against Christianity, Justin Downing chose to embrace the Muslim faith. Okay, that's just on the theological aspect of this man's life. Justin Michael Downing, in 2017, was the respondent in a civil court case where domestic violence was the subject of the lawsuit. The plaintiffs were three individuals. One was Justin Downing's wife, and the two others, they were minors, were Justin Downing's two children. Domestic violence. So the way this worked out, the domestic violence part of it, let's see if I can find it here.
Hello from present day, 3rd of March 2023. What we are watching is from June 2022. I'm just going to let this run until enough people come in so we can have a discussion. Let off some steam, because I'm angry about this. I'm angry about what Justin Downing, you know, what we're putting out there is just like tip of the iceberg stuff, but I'll get into a lot more detail that I've learned from first-hand witnesses who came forward to me. I didn't chase them. They came forward to me. The total of first-hand witnesses. Excuse me. I dropped my coaster. The total of first-hand witnesses. Let me just check if I'm getting audio here. I dropped my coaster. Yeah, the total of first-hand witnesses that approached me were. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Three direct witnesses. And I got the stories from each of them. What, my doggy? Oh, my doggy's hungry. So I'm going to let this run for a bit. Just to let you know that I got the stories from all three of them, and we will get to that, because right now what I'm doing is, at the time, is reading out the indictment. Now, just to give you an idea of how it's going to pan out, is the indictment includes 5 counts. 2 of sexual battery, 1 of rape, and 1 of sexual assault with a minor, and I can't remember exactly. I should. I've got a graphic of it, but we'll get into that, because I don't want this to take too long before everybody falls asleep, unless, of course, you're falling asleep already. All right. So I'll just let myself from June take it away.
Okay, so the way the domestic...
Actually, before I do that, I want to just check to see how my audio is set up. Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough? Because I'm sitting away from my... Is that loud enough? Hold on. If you can hear a little doggy, that's mine, whimpering because her friend here, the cat, is here, probably getting into a cupboard or something. So the dog, my buddy dog, actually stands there and warns me that the cat's up to something. It's very cute. Anyway, here you go.
This is like this. So here, let me read to you exactly what it says.
Oh, it's really?
Okay, so in Pierce County Superior Court,
Hold on, Jay.
civil case 17-2-00827-9. The case title, let me just
Jay, hold on a sec.
let me just do something transformatory. Okay, there we go. Now I can see exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, so the case title is Samantha Faye Smith versus Justin Michael Downing. Case type is domestic violence protection. The resolution uncontested. And the resolution on the 23rd of March 2017 is uncontested, and the completion on the 4th of April 2017 is the judgment, the order, and the decree was filed. So here are the litigants.
All right, should we get to work?
Samantha Faye Smith, the petitioner. K.C. Downing, a minor. E.S. Downing, a minor. And Justin Michael Downing, the respondent. On the 21st of March, 2017. There is a petition for the order for protection. There's a child custody information sheet, which I don't need to show. There's a report. There's a temporary order for protection given out on the 21st of March 2017. There's an order to surrender a weapon as well on the 21st of March 2017 by Justin Michael Downing, who has been temporarily ordered to refrain from domestic violence against his family. On the 3rd of April 2017, a week and a bit later, 2 weeks later, they appeared again. The order for protection was uncontested, so it stood, and on the 4th of April 2017, the confirmation of the final order of protection against Justin Michael Downing for domestic violence was confirmed. All right, so just remember here that we're looking at, what are we looking at? We're looking at 2017, and it is a civil case. Justin Downing committed domestic violence on his family, which is a wife and 2 children. He was ordered to surrender his weapon, and the domestic violence protection was uncontested and finalized on the 4th of April 2017. Now the funny thing is, look at this slide here. Look at that slide and tell me. I'm just going to look at here. Oops. I've got so many slides. Yeah, I'll just font it this way. All right, so then we have that one there, which you see on the screen. Let me find it. Because that's relevant. And why is it relevant? Because oh, there it is. Okay, that's relevant because of the. Firstly, this is the EA Dawa YouTube channel that Justin made. Now, the funny thing about this is this. All right. So the weird thing here, let me just. So the weird thing here, I find very weird, is that remember that on the civil case in Washington, it was all 21st of March and 4th of April. 21st of March, the domestic violence case was commenced, and on the 4th of April, the uncontested, confirmed domestic violence protection order was confirmed. Now, look at the date that this man joined YouTube as EA Dawa. He goes from Justin Michael Downing, a pissed off Christian because of whatever his reasons are, he can tell you. He's a pissed off Christian, and on the 23rd of February 2017, he joins YouTube as E.A. Dawa. All right. So this is like a month. Excuse me. Oh, okay. So this is a month after the goings on, um, after the goings on at Pierce County had begun. So the, he joins YouTube as E.A. Dawa on the 23rd of February 2017. He goes to court on the 21st of March 2017 for domestic violence. Okay, so now, having committed domestic violence against his children and against his wife, he becomes a Muslim and he joins YouTube. Before he went to court, he's now a Muslim. So why has he joined the Muslim community, the men's Muslim community, I should add? Why does he join the men's Muslim community a month before he's going to court on domestic violence charges? Why? I think because he thought he'd get a free pass. Because what he did in Muslim culture is acceptable. So he ran over to the Muslims, which for him was a good idea and a good choice because the men's Muslim community is now protecting him. Gonna show you how, gonna show you why. What's next? What do we have? We've had that one. We've had that one. Oh, here. This is something that is interesting. The guy that you see sitting next to Kalilala or Justin Downing, yeah, that's a guy named Issa Dawa. He is a misogynist, a Muslim, and therefore a misogynist. But he showed his misogyny on his channel not a week ago, less than a week ago. So what he's done, Issa Dawa and his Muslim community, has offered E.A. Dawa, Justin Downing, some kind of a veil of protection, because nobody talks about in that community. Nobody talks about the child abuse, what I'm going to get to, over and above the domestic violence that I've already discussed from 2017. Now we're going to go to 2022, this year. Okay, but just remember, he's a Muslim as of a month before he went to court for the domestic violence issues, which I'm assuming had been going on for a while. He'd been petitioned and all this kind of stuff to go to court, and he panics and he looks for an out. He's got no backbone. He's a coward. So he doesn't want to. He won't stand up and take responsibility and say, right, I'm messed up in the head. I'm fucked up. I made a mistake. I whatever, and I see the error of my ways. Somebody watch over me for the rest of my life because I might not do the right thing without supervision. I think this is the point where I need to say that I need to say that it's a good idea to keep this adult only from now on. I should have. Let me go check to see if I made it adult only. Because I should have. I'm just going to make sure that I did. Give me a second. Yes, I made it adult only. Good. It's already done. This particular picture here is when he and when Isadawa and E.A. Dawa were on together. Let's see which one. And it is. It is. What is it? Sometimes I just don't have my stuff in order here. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. All right. Look. Now look at this. Look at this shot, and look at the text. I wrote here. E.A. Dawa, please tell us about your sexual assault charge in Washington State in 2017, Justin versus Samantha and the kids. He says, Sydney, there were no charges. If you think there were, please provide me with an indictment. So, you hear that? Please provide me with an indictment. There were no charges. Oh, he says, E.A. Dawa, while you are at it, Sydney, get yourself a lawyer. Because I will be suing the shit out of you. All right. So, firstly, he says, there were no charges. If you think there were, please provide me with an indictment. And then he says, while you're at it, get yourself a lawyer because I'm going to sue the shit out of you. All right. So, so now we've gotten through 2017. Justin Downing, E.A. Dawa is Khalilullah is now very, very cocky because he knows he wasn't charged. There was no indictment in 2017 in Washington. Well, he's correct. It was a civil case. Khalilullah, it was a civil case. There's no indictments in civil cases. So what the fuck are you talking about? Sue me. Right, let's get current. Because this man has gone he's gone crazy. Nuts. I think this is the part. Yes. This is the part where I am going to read you what's going on in 2022. The cover shot. Right. It's very sad that I have to read this, but unfortunately, it's life. So, oops. on well, there's his mugshot right there. On the on the 9th of May, on the oh, fuck. On the 9th of May 2022, Justin Downing was arrested. Justin Downing was arrested on the 9th of May 2022 for sexual battery by a parent or guardian and for unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. Are you with me? This is your man, Justin Downing. Dawa Kalilala, your Muslim philosopher, the man to look up to. Ha ha ha! Not. And here it goes. He wants an indictment. He says there are no charges. Well, Justin, you got what you asked for. I'm going to show you the indictment. I'm going to read the charges, and then I'm going to discuss what a fucking disgusting, reprehensible pig you are, Justin. Okay, this will go quickly if I take a sip of coffee. And let's go. In the Court of Common Pleas, Butler County, Ohio, on the 27th of April 2022, case number CR 2022-04-0564, in the state of Ohio as plaintiff versus Justin Downing, defendant. The following is a reading of the indictment brought by the state of Ohio against Justin Downing, and it reads as follows. State of Ohio, County of Butler, in the year 2022. Now listen to this. The jurors of the grand jury of the state of Ohio, within and for the body of the county aforesaid, on their oaths, in the name and by the authority of the state of Ohio, do find and present that count 1, sexual battery, on or about August 01, 2021 through November 04, 2021 in Butler County, Ohio, Justin Downing did engage in sexual conduct with another, not the spouse of the offender, when the offender is the other person's natural or adoptive parent, or a step-parent or guardian or custodian, or person in loco parentis of the other person, which constitutes the offense of sexual battery, a third-degree felony in violation of R.C. Section 2907-03, and against the peace and dignity of the state of Ohio. Count 2, unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, on or about August 01, 2021 through November 04, 2021, in Butler County, Ohio, Justin Downing did, being 18 years of age or older, engage in sexual conduct with another, who is not the spouse of the offender, when the offender knows the other person is 13 years of age or older, but less than 16 years of age, or the offender is reckless in that regard, and the offender is 10 or more years older than the other person, which constitutes the offense of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, a third-degree felony in violation of RC Section 2907-04 and against the peace and dignity of the state of Ohio. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me what to think. Tell me what you really, really think. Let's hear it. Ah, there you are. Sorry, I was trying to figure out my screens. Okay, so I think it's time to have a little discussion about this, don't you think? We've got this weasel, this E.A. Dawa guy. I hope he's still in the side chat there. He said he was going to stay and listen. But I think it's time to have a chat about this man. Now, before we go any further, you got to think that this guy committed the offenses in the summer of 2021, but he wasn't arrested until May of 2022. And all this time, after he committed this reprehensible crime, and I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into it in a second, but after he's committed this reprehensible crime, what he's done is try to run away from his guilt. He escapes into the Muslim community where they all do the same thing. The whole Muslim men's community is a bunch of misogynists. Issa Dawa, a misogynist. E.A. Dawa, obviously a misogynist. He commits a domestic violence assault on his wife and kids, and now he's facing 2 counts of sexual battery and unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, where that minor is his child. What were you thinking, Justin? And then you try and run away and hide. To this day, you're hiding. To this day, you are in denial. I'll show you something. Let me show you something. Let's go. So this is the guy here, everybody. Look, I want you to look at him really close. This is him. This is the man that's gone Muslim because he's a pedophile. What is worse than a pedophile? I'll answer you. Worse than a pedophile is a pedophile who preys on his own children. Indictment? You want an indictment? You want charges? And then I want to show you something else. This is how cocky this man is. He actually thinks that he's gonna. Well, let me just find it. Hold on a second. I gotta go find it. I find that last. There it is. That's it. Yes. So, to top matters off, with EA Dawa. This is what he sends to me. So this is the chat that he sends to me. When I was confronting him about the 2017 claims and the 2022 claims and this, that, and the other. This is the way he tries to run away. He tries to show he's such a big boy. I mean, meantime, he's just a quivering coward inside. A misogynistic coward. You're a piece of shit, Justin. You are reprehensible. But listen to this. He says, and this is him writing. Him talk. Yeah, him writing. He says, "Oh, are you talking about the claims in 27 that were dismissed? How were they dismissed? 2017. No contest? It's not dismissal. No contest means you lose. Hey, you had to give up your weapons, didn't you? Domestic violence, you give up your weapons, you lose. There's a you don't contest it, and it is awarded to your wife and children. They were dismissed. Show me that they were dismissed. Prove it, prove it, prove it. Yeah, I'm bringing receipts to you. Bring receipts to me. Lola, lola, lola. Yeah, the court ruled that they were false claims, and it never even got to a grand jury, bud. Once again, your ignorance is showing. I have seen the evidence they are going to attempt to use, and it is not what you think, pal. All right, so he's talking about both 2017 and 2022. 2017, he says, the court ruled that they were false claims and it never even got to a grand jury, bud. Well, Justin, the 2017 case was a civil case. There are no grand juries in civil cases. The court did not rule that they were false claims because you didn't contest them. If they were false claims, Justin, you would have contested them. You would have brought some kind of evidence backing up your innocence. But you didn't. Justin, you didn't. You're guilty. You are guilty. You have a domestic violence or protection order against you. How are those false claims? Then he switches over to 2022. Once again, your ignorance is showing. I have seen the evidence they are going to attempt to use, and it is not what you think, pal. Well, I tell you what, we'll leave that one until judgment in the case, which I don't know when this is coming up. If you could, Justin, let me know when you judgment. I may remind you, has been served in this case. I should put the date on under where I am. This is the I'm talking from the 3rd of March 2023. I'll put it down on somewhere. What we're watching is from the 9th of June 2022. But I just want to introduce this actually into the video, this live stream, as part of it, because it continues to full term, as it were. What I am going to be doing is exposing Justin Downing for being a serial rapist. And don't forget that a serial rapist of minor children. And don't forget that what you see is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to child predators like Justin Downing, because there is always attached a significant period of grooming, which I'm going to introduce as well into into when I have another look at when we talk again about the indictment. But in the meantime, how am I doing? Is it boring because there's no one watching live? Well, that's okay. That's fine. I'm going to put the date below where I am, and then I'm just going to play 9th of June a little bit. Okay? When your ass is being dragged into court on sexual battery of your child, just let me know when that's going to be, okay? Then he says to me, after I've just presented all this evidence, okay? The indictment, the charges, everything. Then he says, this is just you jumping to conclusions because I made a fool of you on your channel to the point that your viewers were calling you out. So all you guys out there in the chat, you are all calling me out because Kalila claims that he made a fool of me on my own channel. Now, that may be so. Maybe you made the biggest fool of me on my own channel that anyone has ever done in the history of making fools of people on channels. Maybe. But, Justin, you're still a child rapist. You're still a pedophile. You're still reprehensible. Fuck, Justin. Having sex with your own child? What were you thinking? Were you thinking, la 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 la? What the fuck was the matter with you? So then he goes on to say, you are not a skeptic. You are a butt-hurt clown that is about to have defamation charges filed against you. Keep giving me more evidence to use against you. You are doing a fine job of it. Hope you got some money for the lawsuit. This is E.A. Dower, Justin Downing. This guy is a pig. Sorry, with all due respect to pigs, but he's reprehensible. He's a disgrace to humanity. He's a proud member of the Men's Misogyny Muslim Club. He's a pig. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. Here you go. I'm going to give you, there you go, one more little chance to see the indictments against this guy. So let's talk about Justin Downing. In prison, because Justin Downing is going to prison. So is E.A. Dawa, and so is Kalilulala with him. All three of you are going to the Muslim Trinity is going to jail. That's Justin and E.A. Dawa and Kalilulala. All of you, prison. Now, Justin, you're going to prison for many years. 10. Somebody said to me 4 years minimum, but 10 years or 4 years or anything means that you're going to have to survive the first day and the first week. Do you know what they think about people like you in prison? In prison, where the lowest of the low go to hang out, are sent by society to hang out. You know what they think about you? Kill on sight. is what I hear when it comes to child molesters in prison. Now, no doubt, you have now hooked up with the misogyny Muslim men's club. You probably did that knowingly that you're going to prison, you're going to need protection. I think you're throwing your you're throwing your hat into the Muslim ring, and you're saying to these Muslims, okay, I'm just like you, I'm a pedophile, I'm just like you, I'm a nonce, I'm just like you, I'm a misogynist, please protect me. And you know what? They probably have said, no problem. And Issa Dawa himself has, and I've asked Issa Dawa specifically in the chats about EA Dawa's pedophilia, the charges, and he will not respond. He just let's go on to something else. Like, it doesn't exist. No such thing. What a lot of shit. Okay. Who is watching? There's only 3 people watching. Because I was going to actually open up a room, have a talk about this. Anybody want a room open? Tell you what, I'll open up a room anyway. If you come in, you come in. How's that? Bet you it sounds good. All right, give me one moment, and I will get the room. I'll get a room open, okay? Just give me 1 second. Sometimes computers and their screens are quite bamboozling. But anyway, I think I've got it. All right, I'm gonna be back with a link in a second. Okay, what's going on? You're right, rebuke and reprove. I was actually away. I'm making soup. So what's going on here? I don't know. Oh, here we go. I haven't yet. Things are slow, ladies and gentlemen. Things were slow in June 2022, it seems. Yeah, YouTube is slow. Oh, it was a YouTube problem. Looks like I'm lagging as well. I remember I was having computer problems. And also that I was using Jitsi. That resource happening. Resource gobbler. Excuse me. Hey, Rebuke and Reprove. Are you still a Jesus Club member? Just a second.
Do you still know that Jesus is a myth? You remember, right? Jesus is a myth that you can't disprove.
Okay.
I'm having technical problems in the past. Aha!
Okay, let me see what old Justin has got.
Justin, yeah, Justin was like really, really into me.
I'll tell you what, let me start from the very top and
Good idea. Okay, I'll
say
start.
hello and welcome to those who can't see me. How can you see me if you can't see me? All right. Ms. Earth Angel. Who is he? Well, you should know now. Look out for number one, Oscar. How you doing, my man?
Gotta say hello to
Justin, thank
everybody.
you for joining.
Justin.
Rebuke and reprove.
He was Rebecca
Jill?
Review. You were watching that.
Are you still here? You can hang. You can. You and Justin can hang out together and fortify each other.
See?
Jenna, hey Jenna, what's up, baby?
You both.
Why am I calling you
refused
baby?
to
You're not
come
my
in.
baby. And Shako. How's it going,
Oh,
man?
come on, Sydney. Just get on with
Who
it.
else we got?
It's annoying, isn't it?
Okay, so let me read what what Justin has said. He
Ah,
said,
yes.
"Lol, if I said I didn't do it, would you take my word for it? No. Damn right I wouldn't take your word for it. There's a fucking indictment out charging you. Well, fuck, I mean, that's disgusting what you did to your kid. What else does he say? I'll tell you this. Sydney did a good job of cutting off the rest of the indictment where it has a blank mark next to guilty, not guilty. Sydney is assuming guilty until proven innocent. um, well, an indictment isn't a court case. It isn't there's no a jury. A jury in the trial will indicate whether you are guilty or not guilty. The indictment itself, if it's an indictment, that doesn't make sense. If there's an indictment, you're assumed guilty, or you're positively being charged with those crimes. And if it was, if it was shoplifting or something, yeah, we'll assume you innocent, not a problem. But when it comes to children's minds, Justin, just think what you've done. Not only to the child that you molested, that you sexually assaulted. Not only to that child, but to the child who witnessed it, and all the children in your family, and your ex-wife. All the emotional baggage that you have burdened them with for the rest of their lives. Traumatic, I might add. You are a very, very evil man. Justin Michael Downing, an evil, evil man. So, okay, so I'm assuming guilty until proven innocent. You're not going to be proven innocent. You assaulted your stepchild. There was a witness to the assault. You're going to jail. You're going to prison for a very long time. But it's cool. I told him to get his lawyer ready because it will be a heavy lawsuit for defamation against him. Keep up the good work with evidence against you. Yes, bring it up. Uh-oh, now he's having problems when I ask him to show his claims to be true. Things are slow like your brain, Sydney. That's right. You have as much fun as you can, Justin, because I'm not the one who's going to prison. I'm not the one who's going to be targeted in prison. There you go. Shako has it. Explain the details of the allegations against you, Dawa. Make it clear for us. Well, let's speculate on what might have happened. You know, we can't be sure what happened, but we can speculate. And this is where I would like any minors to be removed from your rooms who are listening, because this is going to be adult from now on. You got to speculate of what this man was doing and why he was doing it, what was going on in his mind. First and foremost, he thinks only of himself. He is no worse a narcissist. He is no worse a malignant Muslim narcissist than Gary Mill is a malignant Christian narcissist. In other words, they only think of themselves. They never accept responsibility or accountability. They're always in denial. They're always looking for supply, narcissist supply. And here you have a case where he literally, even right to this minute, Justin is proclaiming that he's not guilty, that he didn't do any of these things. He's left 2 wives traumatized. He's left all his children and all his stepchildren traumatized. Think about what these children are going through. I'll admit you in a second, Kalila. Just give me a second here. Just think about what these children are going through. Their father, for the rest of their lives, they know that their father is a bad person, that their father is a sexual predator of minor children, that their father is a child molester of his own children. All right. So, okay. So you notice that Justin Downing is trying to get into the chat with me. But what is it that he's going to tell me? I don't remember even if I let him in, because he is lower than the shit under the foot of a cockroach. That's what you are, Justin Downing. In terms of humanity, you're at the very, very bottom. Yeah, I don't remember if I let him in or not. Let's see. Come on in. And let's just talk, okay? Justin, let's just talk about the facts of what you did or what you didn't do. And we don't have to insult each other. We could just have a conversation. If you're up to it. My computer's still up and running, that is. Okay, good. All right, you're in. Hang on a sec. My system's slow. My system is slow.
I have since upgraded my system, so it's not that slow anymore. But you never know.
Okay, now you are muted. Is that because I have muted you or what?
Oh,
Can you unmute yourself?
thank you, Jenny.
Can you hear me? What is going on here? Alright, looks like you're not muted anymore. Go ahead and talk. I'm not hearing you. I'm just going to turn my camera off here so that we have some attempt to get communication. Justin, I don't hear you. I don't even know if you hear me. Let me check the I don't even know if you hear me. Okay, I'm coming through for sure. There you go. Now you're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
No, I hear you now. I hear
I'm
you.
calling my computer.
I hear you.
You hear me now?
Meh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so let's go through things, Sydney. Let's go through what the facts that you think that you know. Let's start there. So what do you know?
Okay, let's see. I know that you were charged on the 27th of April with two
Correct.
counts: sexual battery and unlawful
Yep.
sexual conduct with a minor.
Correct. Yes.
That's what I know.
Okay, so what's all the talk about I've been convicted?
Well, you'll be convicted at your trial.
But you've already said that I've been convicted. So is that a lie?
You'll be convicted at your trial.
No, but that's not the answer to my question. You said I already have been convicted. Is that true or is that untrue?
Show me where I said that.
Okay, well, I'm on my phone right now, but I can show you.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You committed the crimes.
Hold on, Sydney. Hold on, Sydney.
You committed the crimes.
Not 2 days ago.
You committed the crimes. You committed the crimes. Let's talk about the crimes.
He doesn't want me to talk because he's going to be exposed to be a liar.
Let's talk about your crimes.
Let's talk about how 2 days ago you told Godless Girl on Clubhouse in our group message that I've been convicted. I can literally bring the screenshot.
All right, bring it. I didn't tell her that.
Okay, are you at this point, are you denying that you ever told her that I was convicted?
I'm denying that I intended to tell her that you were convicted.
Intended to tell her.
That's right, because I don't think I told her anything of the sort.
Squeezing out of something knowing that you're lying about me.
Listen.
It's sad, Sydney. It's sad, but it's expected.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
It's expected.
Listen to me. Let's talk about your crimes. Let's talk about what you did to your.
Let's talk about
what you did.
Alleged of, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about the unlawful sexual assault with a minor, which is your own stepchild.
Correct.
Let's talk about that. What exactly did you do, Justin?
I didn't do anything.
So why do you have a grand jury indicting you for these crimes?
Because when a minor makes a claim of that nature, they should take it seriously, and I totally respect that. But just because somebody made a claim doesn't mean that it's true. Isn't that right, Mr.
So
Atheist?
you're saying that
Hold
a
on, hold
minor
on.
made a
Let's just
claim,
go through
and
this
that
reasonably.
a
Let's just
minor
go through
made a
this reasonably.
claim, a minor made a claim that you committed sexual battery on him, and that you had unlawful sexual misconduct,
No, it's not a him.
unlawful
It's a
sexual
her.
conduct with this minor, and you're saying because of those claims you got indicted just because of
This
what
tells
one
me
minor
how-
said.
Sydney, hold on. This tells me how ignorant you are on this. It was never a him that made any claims. Let's go back to Washington, because you like to keep bringing that up. There was a case in Washington to where actually, no, it wasn't even a case. It didn't even make it to a case, right? There was a claim that was made by my ex-wife that she thought that I did something with my daughter 3 years prior to her making the claim, when my daughter was like 3 years old. They did an investigation. The person said no. She's never been touched. These kids haven't been messed with.
So
they
why
completely
didn't you
dropped
contest
the
it then?
case. They completely dropped the case.
Why didn't you? Didn't know? No, it was.
Show me where there was charges. Please show me an indictment in Washington State in 2017. I'll wait.
Okay, do you know the difference
There
between
was never an indictment in Washington State, Sydney. That's why. Because the whole thing was dropped. See?
Okay, on the screen there is a Pierce County Superior Court civil case. Justin, there are no indictments in civil cases. Do you accept that?
Yes, what you're bringing up is an amendment to a parenting plan.
Is that right? Why is it called
that's
domestic?
Exactly what it is.
Oh, really? Then, then why does it say? Why does it say domestic violence?
Because that's
how's the parenting plan? How come it's an order for a
emergency custody?
No, doesn't say anything about emergency custody. You had to remember you had to surrender your weapon for this one. Remember? You know what I'm talking about? Look at the screen. Look at the screen.
I don't own a weapon.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can't
Look at
see the screen.
Okay, I'll read it to you. There are it's Pierce County Superior Civil Court Case 17-2-00827-9.
Keep going.
So you do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, but
then why are you denying it?
There was a case. Show me where there were charges filed. Show me a parenting plan.
I don't think you've.
Show me an indictment like you.
No, he's just embarrassing himself.
Show me that in Washington.
It's not, dude. It's a civil case. There's no indictments in civil cases.
Exactly. That means there was no criminal charges, you dumbass.
I never said there was criminal charges in 2017. It's a civil case. I've said that all along, that there were civil cases in civil case in. No. I'm not going to let you get away with it.
You see how he's trying to gaslight? He's a dishonest, disgusting, disingenuous, and disliked through and through.
So I said there was a civil case in 2017. The litigants were your wife and your 2 children against you for domestic violence. You did not contest. You did not contest the charge. The order for protection was uncontested and confirmed.
For domestic
final
violence,
protection.
Actually, Justin, if you're watching this, come on now. Let's discuss your conviction and your future. Now that is known, let's discuss the first thing that's going to happen to you when you get to prison. I would really like to get your point of view on your bleak future and what you have done and why the fuck did you do dirty deeds with your own children. You are a fucking father, an authority figure, someone to look up to. You're nothing but a fucking dud. So back to Jude.
Order. That's
that
what
was a
I was talking
protection
about.
order. Oh
Against
my
for
God, you are
to
so
protect you,
stupid,
to
Sydney.
protect your family against you from domestic violence.
That okay? If you shut your mouth, I'll explain.
You don't have to
Because that's
explain,
what
my
you
friend.
want
It's
is an
right on the
explanation,
screen.
right?
It's
Do you
on the
want an
screen.
explanation, or you just want to
No, I
act
don't
like
need
you
your
know
explanation.
my
It's
life?
all on the screen. I want to know.
Okay.
I want to know from you about 2022. What the fuck were you doing
Oh,
diddling
so
your
now he
kids in
wants to get away from
2022?
Washington State. He wants to
What were
talk
you
about
doing?
2022. Now, got it. Okay.
What were
I'll
you
take your
doing?
concession.
What were you doing diddling your kids in 2021?
I wasn't diddling anybody. Prove that I did it. Mr. Skeptic, Mr. Atheist, prove that I did it.
So you notice that he made a mistake. He's not saying that nothing happened. He's saying he's implying that yes, the rapes happened. My stepson or whatever was raped. My stepson was involved in committing sexual. My son was involved in committing in the committing of a sexual assault as a victim. But what he's saying is, where does it say that I did it? He's not saying it didn't happen. He's just saying he didn't do it. And as we know from the conviction currently, he's a guilty.
Your court case will prove that you did it. When's it coming up, by the way?
It will prove it. See, you don't have any proof yet. So
Excellent.
you're just on here making claims with some guy that smacks you like around like a.
I got
like
the
a
indictment.
doll
I got
for
the
months
indictment,
on
buddy.
end,
I got the.
embarrassed you online.
Okay, I also need to tell you that, like I said before, I've been contacted by 3 insiders, 3 people who know him personally, and they gave me their feelings about him and their story or their understanding, what they know, what they've seen, what they've been told, and especially those that really knew him for a long time, since he was a child. I feel for those people, betrayed, because they have been betrayed. Whew. It's things like that you got no control over that really kind of drops my whole heart into my stomach when I think about this disgusting pig of a person.
And now you
I
go
got
attack
the
me using
induction.
this.
Listen, all you're going to do is go to ad
I
homs.
smacked
You
you around
disprove.
like a rag doll and your butt hurt about it.
So he's trying to overtalk me. This guy's guilty, and he knows it. And he knows I know it. And I know it. I knew it. Again, because I'd spoken to people. People contacted me out of the blue who I didn't expect. And that's how I knew. That's why I was so confident in the facts. Although I don't want to. I'll get to the details in a while, maybe later on. But let's continue the live from June of 2022 with Justin Downing, convicted of sexual assault of a minor, of sexual battery of a minor, and he's now a tier 3 sex offender. A tier 3 sex offender is somebody who has a very strong chance of reoffending once they get out of prison. And what he has to do is every 90 days, it's 4 times a year, he has to go to a police station or a sheriff's office or something and check in. His life is now going to be controlled by the authorities. Mr. Big head, arrogant idiot.
So this is what you do.
You disprove your case every time you go into this rage.
I'm not in a rage. I'm quite upset because you are saying
You're
that I've been
upset.
convicted
You're
of
upset because you
crimes.
got busted. That's why you're upset.
I'm not busted. Am I in jail? Look
When's your
Are you in jail? Am I in jail? Come April 3rd, which is when the sentencing date is set for, ask that question again. You won't be in jail, you'll be in prison.
court
Am
case?
I in
When's
fucking
your
jail,
court case?
Sydney?
When's your
Am I
court?
in jail?
When's your court case?
Am I in jail?
When's your court?
By the way, he was not in jail, obviously, but he was under house arrest with a GPS monitor around his ankle. So he was not allowed to go anywhere, or he had to account for anywhere he went. He was really under strict supervision at that time that we're having this chat.
Court case, Justin.
The next court case is another pre-trial arrangement.
No, when's your court
on
case
the
on the
11th of
indictment?
next month.
When's your court case on the indictment for sexual battery and unlawful sexual conduct with a
Shut
minor?
up and I will
Give us the
tell you,
dates.
If you listen, open your ears.
Give us
you
the dates.
Dumbass.
Come on, give us the dates.
Open your ears, dumbass.
Let's hear it.
The pre-trial for this exact case is on the 11th of next month. We've already had one on the 6th of this month. To where
11th of July, yes.
Accepting a plea deal, or are we making a date for a trial, which means that there hasn't
Well, what really happened was they did neither. They continued.
even been a trial yet, Sydney, which means that nobody has done anything. You don't even know what the evidence that they may or may not have against me. I know what it is.
That's the rub. I did know what the evidence they had against him. I did know. So he's just a big shot. He tries to be a big shot and a know-it-all and an innocent, very innocent.
I know the evidence against me.
So hold on a
because
minute.
we've got
Hold on a minute.
discovery.
Plea deal. You said plea deal, right? So when
Correct.
you say plea deal, it means that you're plea bargaining because you did do something. That's why you do the
Correct.
plea. What I
Yes,
want to
yes,
know,
I
what
know.
I want to
I-
know,
hold on, listen,
what I want to
listen,
know from you,
listen.
from your own
Stop,
mouth,
stop,
is
Sydney,
what
stop.
did you do to your stepchild that
I am
is
not taking a plea
you
deal.
are
I'm
you?
not
I am. Did you hear that? I am not taking a plea deal. This is Justin Downing saying to me that he's not taking a plea deal. What a liar! What a fucking coward and a liar!
You're the one who
I am
mentioned.
not
You just
taking
mentioned the
a
plea deal. You mentioned
I'm
plea
not
deal.
taking a plea deal. Sydney, open
What
your
did you
ears
do?
and
What
listen.
did you do to your stepchild?
Open your
That
ears
what
and
did you do
listen.
to your stepchild that precipitated this indictment?
Okay,
Because
so
these don't come out of nothing.
Necessitate crimes committed.
So you committed a crime with your child of the most
No.
heinous nature.
No.
You are a reprehensible
No.
human being.
Yeah, see, guys, this is how not skeptical Mr. Sidney Winston is.
Oh, okay.
It's that
Why don't you do everything in your power?
Because he has no evidence to
Why
back
don't
up
you do
his claims,
everything-
yet he believes
Why
it.
don't you do
He
everything in your power to stop me talking
He's
about the
done
crimes?
this. He believes it off of
Well, the reason I'm coming across as so smug in that June 22 video is because I knew what evidence they had against him, and I knew he was 100% guilty, and I knew he was 100% going to go to prison. I knew all this based on what I was told by those who contacted me.
blind faith. Blind faith. If not, Sidney, if it's not blind faith,
Stop. Stop.
show me
I'm
the
talking.
evidence that you
I'm
have
talking.
against me then.
I'm
I'll
talking.
wait.
Okay, just mute yourself. So, this guy doesn't understand that what he's done to this child, to his children, because there's not only one child involved, there's his whole family involved. Anytime a child is assaulted sexually or in any other violent manner, there is trauma on that child. The trauma will live with that child for the rest of his or her natural life. You do not understand, Justin, what you've done, the damage that you've done to your children, the damage that you've done to your community, the trust that all those who loved you and all those who trusted you has gone. How can you possibly come and scream and yell at me that you don't think I'm a skeptic? That's got nothing to do with it. I believe that you committed these crimes that you have been indicted for. So for you to make excuses to say that you haven't been convicted yet, or there might be a plea bargain or whatever, that means nothing. Your crimes. What did you specifically do that you were indicted for?
Sydney, hold on a second, bud. Hold on a second, bud. Let me explain to you again because you didn't get it the first time. I stated, you said, when's my next court date? I said on the 11th, and I said that it is a pre-trial arrangement. It's a pre-trial hearing. Do you know what happens at a pre-trial hearing, Sydney? The judge asks, are you guys going to go with a plea deal or are we going to set up a trial? I am not taking a plea because I am not guilty of the crimes that are alleged that I committed. So I will not be taking a plea deal. I will be taking this thing to full trial, and I will be putting my ex-wife and her daughter on the stand, and we are going to grill them.
I say you're going to get 10 years in prison.
That's fine. You can believe what you want, but you have no evidence to
I
back
say
up
that
your
you
claims,
deserve
Mr.
10 years in
Skeptic.
prison for what you've done.
The courts don't even have the evidence against me right now because I'm not convicted. So how could you? How could you, Sydney, out there in the UK, know what evidence there is against me? How do you know? You don't.
How do you know
You
I
want
don't know?
to
You see,
believe it
you're
off
just
of blind faith
scared. You're
because I've
scared.
smacked you around
You're
like a rag doll philosophically.
scared.
I'm here right now. I'm not scared. I'm here on your show right now.
Yeah,
What am
right.
I
Is that why
scared
you're not under house arrest?
of? What am I scared of?
Is that why you're under house arrest?
I'm under house arrest because I got out on bond, and it's not house arrest.
There you
Right,
go.
hey, Sydney, watch this. Watch this. I'm under house arrest, right? All right, Sydney, watch this.
All
You
right,
want to
man.
see something cool?
Okay, so what he tries to do here, he's under house arrest. Yes, he got out on bond, but he's on a GPS. So what he's going to do is he's going to try and say, "Look, I'm outside." Walk outside and say, "Look, I'm outside. I'm outside my house. How can I be under house arrest?" What an idiot! He's a moron to think that anybody would believe him other than his Muslim community.
No, I don't want to see anything cool from you. You're
watch,
just
watch this. I'm under house arrest, right? I can't leave my house.
right.
See, of course you can leave your house. You can leave. When you leave your house, you're still on your property because you're in the garden or the balcony or the whatever. So don't try and pull this shit on me, Justin Downing. Fool.
I can't leave my house, Sydney.
I'm sure you can't. But anyway, I'm going to get rid of him because he is really
He's irritating me.
too narcissistic.
Yeah. You
The
agree?
charges are right there. They're staring you right in the face, and he's saying that he's not guilty. Well, he says that he doesn't want to plea because he's not guilty.
Not true.
I think that you get your comeuppance, Justin. You'll get your comeuppance.
Comeuppance?
All right, the room is still open. If anybody would like to talk about Justin and his crimes, do join. Do leave a comment. Do like. Do subscribe. Do everything.
Yeah. All right. Where should we go from here? Let's just give me a minute. Give me a minute. All right. Let's go to that one there. The room is open, yes. I better do some promotion then, shouldn't I? Give me a second. So I can promote the room. Where do I put this? How about here? Justin Downing, E8 Dawa. Come on in. Let's talk about your crimes. You know, your crimes are worse than what Alec Murdaugh did. Murdaugh, who was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms for murdering his wife and one of his sons. What you did is worse. Because there are living people, lots of living people, with the memory, with the trauma, with the confusion, with the anger, with the hatred caused by you, Justin Downing, because of your arrogance. What the fuck were you thinking of raping, sexually assaulting your stepson, your stepchildren? I don't know. There are 5 counts in the indictment. Okay, I just want to tell everybody and remind Justin himself that there are 5 counts in the indictment. As you, I don't know if you picked up on it, but that's what it is. 5 counts on the indictment. What I want to do is actually go into the conviction part of it. But I haven't set it up yet, so let me give that a do. Let me give that a setup. Listen to some music in the meantime. I'll be with you in a moment. right, here we go. This is the conviction. So, okay, while we discuss this, by the way, the room is open. You can come in and join. Something's wrong with something. Hold on a minute. Something's wrong with my... There. Let's see. I'll fix it. Ah, there we go. My aspect ratio was lacking. I think that fixes it right. Oh yeah. Okay. So what we can do now is we can read the final product. I hope you can see that well enough. I think you can. So what it says, Court of Common Pleas, Butler County, Ohio. Case number 2022040564. The State of Ohio versus Justin Downing, defendant. So this is the cowardly. I'm not going to do a plea deal because I didn't do it. The trial will prove that I didn't do it. I'm not going to put forward a plea deal. No, not me. I'm innocent. Remember that, Justin? So let's see. So this is what he's been charged with. In the indictment, he was charged with 5 counts. In the plea deal, he is left with 2 counts. Count 1 and count 5. Both sexual battery. Now I looked up the section 290703A5, etc. And it's pretty serious. It's a pretty serious accusation. It's pretty serious to be actually convicted of what he did. So let's have a look here. Okay, so firstly, he writes, I withdraw my former not guilty plea and enter a plea of guilty to the following offenses, to the 2. So he was indicted and charged with 5 offenses. He pled not guilty to all 5 offenses. So here he has plea bargained himself down to 2 felony charges of sexual battery. The F3 and an F2. And as it seems, the F2 the F2 count 1 F3 has a maximum prison term of 60 months. In other words, 5 years. A maximum fine of $10,000. On count 2, which is F2, I'm not quite sure what that means, but it's offense B, which is an admission to count 5 from the indictment. So he's admitting to count 1 and to count 5 from the indictment. The second one, count 5, he will serve a minimum of 2 years in a state prison. Minimum of 2 years in a state prison, and a maximum of 12 years in a state prison, and a maximum fine of $15,000. What you did, Justin Downing, was heinous. So, as you can see, he's withdrawn his guilty plea, and now he is quite happy to, where the hell did I leave it? He's quite happy to plead guilty to two offenses. Give me one moment. I'm going to find my image. Image. Text. Where's the image? There it is. Alright, so let's move up a bit. Okay. So let's see. You got a maximum penalty. He says, I understand the maximum prison term if all counts are run consecutively is 17 years. That's the 60 months, 5 years plus the 12 years on 60 months, 5 years on count 1, and 12 years on count 5. Those are the 2 counts that he's pleading guilty to. My counsel has advised me of, and I fully understand the following. Listen to this. Capitulation. Justin capitulated. Nobody bought his bullshit. By this plea of guilty, I understand the court will decide my guilt based upon a statement by the prosecutor about the evidence which would have been presented at trial. The judge will accept the statement of evidence as true. Prison terms for multiple charges may be imposed consecutively by the court, even if consecutive sentences are not mandatory. You're in trouble, Jason. If I am now on felony probation, payroll, under a community control sanction, the GPS, or under post-release control from prison, this plea may result in revocation proceedings, and any new sentence could be imposed consecutively. Dude, you're not out of the woods. So 17 years maximum at this point. But you could be charged for more if more victims are found. Because I don't believe that your victims are only within your own family. Not for 1 second. You've been doing this since you were in middle school. It goes on. Court costs, restitution, and other financial sanctions, including fines, day fines, and reimbursement for the cost of any sanctions, may also be imposed. Money, Jason. That's right. They're charging you money. Lots and lots and lots of money for what you did. They've taken away your freedom. They're going to throw you in a dark, dank prison from which you might never emerge, Justin, for what you did. and the reputation that will be following you into that prison. It goes on. Post-release control. In addition, a period of supervision by the adult parole authority after release from prison is mandatory in this case. This is Justin, if I am sentenced to prison for a felony sex offense, after my prison release, I will have mandatory post-release control of 5 years under conditions determined by the parole board. As to all felony non-sex offenses, if I am sentenced to prison for a felony 1, I will have mandatory post-release control up to 5 years, but not less than 2 years. If I am sentenced to prison for a felony 2, I will have mandatory post-release control up to 3 years, but not less than 18 months. If I am sentenced to prison for a felony 3, that is an offense of violence, I will have mandatory post-release control up to 3 years, but not less than 1 year. If I receive a sentence of prison for any other felony 3, 4, or 5, I may be given up to 2 years of post-release control. Dude, you're fucked. You don't have any money to pay these people, I'm sure. Maybe people will donate within your chosen and adopted new community. Maybe they'll help you out with the money, but they can't help you out with the prison, where they can't help you out with a post-prison parole system, and you're being watched. He goes on. For some reason I can never find the damn... Oh, that's not it. Sorry. Where am I following here? No. Ah, there it is. No. Okay, there we go. There's the next page. Right. So the next page says... If I violate my post-release control rule or condition, I can receive... Oops, sorry. If I can receive a more restrictive sanction while I am under post-release control, and increased duration of supervision or control up to the maximum term. If I violate conditions of supervision while under post-release control, the parole board can return me to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to a maximum of half my original stated maximum prison term. 8.5 years. No. Yeah, 8.5 years. Even though I have already served the prison term imposed upon me by this court. You are persona non grata, Justin Downing. If the violation is a new felony, I could receive a prison term of the greater of 1 year or the time remaining on post-release control, in addition to any other prison term imposed for a new offense. This is important, why they put it in there. I'll get to that. Community control. If this court is not required by law to impose a prison sanction, it may impose community control sanctions or non-prison sanctions upon me. I understand that if I violate the terms or conditions of a community control sanction, the court may extend the time for which I am subject to this sanction up to a maximum of 5 years, impose a more restrictive sanction, or imprison me for up to the maximum stated term allowed for the offences of which I am found guilty. I understand that I may be ordered to pay a monthly probation fee and that failure to do so may result in revocation of community control probation. I understand the nature of these charges and the possible defenses I might have. I am satisfied with my attorney's advice and competence. I am not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. No threats have been made to me. No promises have been made except as part of this plea agreement stated entirely as follows. Here's the plea agreement. Dismiss counts 2, 3, and 4. Upon conviction, defendant will be required to register as a Tier 3 sex offender, requiring in-person verification with the sheriff's office every 90 days for life, in addition to numerous other requirements outlined in the Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 2950, including but not limited to residency restrictions. The date range in Count 5 has been amended to March 22, 2019 through February 21, 2020, and the state of Ohio and the defendant agree that indefinite sentencing pursuant to Reagan-Tokes applies to Count 5. Jason continues, I understand by pleading guilty, I give up my right to a jury trial or court trial, where I could confront and have my attorney question witnesses against me, and where I could use the power of the court to call witnesses to testify for me. I know at trial I would not have to take the witness stand and could not be forced to testify against myself, and that no one could comment if I chose not to testify. I understand I waive my right to have the prosecutor prove my guilt beyond a reasonable doubt on every element of each charge. I know that the jury verdict would have to be unanimous before the jury could find me guilty of any offense. I understand my right to appeal a maximum sentence, my other limited appellate rights, and that any appeal must be filed within 30 days of my sentence. I understand the consequences of a conviction upon me if I am not a U.S. citizen. I enter this plea voluntarily, and the signature is of the defendant, Justin Downing, attorney for the defendant, Chelsea Panzeca, and the prosecuting attorney, L. Sheehan. Judgment entry of guilty. Very bottom. The court finds that this day the defendant in open court was advised of all applicable constitutional rights and made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of those rights pursuant to Criminal R11. The plea is accepted and is ordered filed. The court finds the defendant guilty of each offense to which defendant has entered this plea. A sentencing hearing is scheduled on April the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Bond is continued. Signed by the judge. So, as you can tell, Justin Downing was having you all on. He's having the whole community on. His whole Muslim community he's been stringing along. He's been stringing along his new Muslim wife by lying to her and saying, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. So, there was something else I wanted to show you, which I thought was relevant. Yeah, let me go back to this here. There's something else I wanted to show you. Just give me a moment to compose myself and get it online. So, Justin Downing is a tier 3 sexual offender. What are the differences between the tiers? Alright. So you got here what's the highest tier of sex offender? There are 3 risk levels. Level 1 is a low risk of repeat offense, or level 2, which is a moderate risk of repeat offense, or level 3, a high risk of repeat offense and a threat to public safety exists. Justin Downing is off the streets of freedom. He's out. He might be in custody right now. I don't know. I'm assuming he's not. I'm assuming he's under house arrest for until his sentencing on April the 3rd. There was another thing that that came to my attention, which I'm wondering if I should share with you. I think I should. Well, there's a couple of things. Okay, here it is. So I looked up the section that he was charged under, 2907.03, and it's very interesting what I find. Sexual battery, right? This is what he was convicted of, and I believe it was count. Which one is it? The offender is the other person's natural or adoptive parent or a step-parent or guardian, custodian, or person in loco parentis of the other person. The other person being a minor, in this case. And the other thing I wanted to show you a sec. All right. Oops. Sorry. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you. Oh, stop that. Oh, just stop that. Is this the court view? Case number search, Justin Downing, criminal, case type criminal, file date 22nd of April 2022. So that's when it all started. So there is all the details of Justin's case. Gonna let you read this a little bit while I take care of dinner. So, ooh, there's a date that I gotta kill. So, I'm gonna let this run. A little bit of music in the background, and I'll be back in a few moments. Okay, I'm back. I'm just gonna put my headphones back in and settle down. Give me 1 moment. Sorry for the clicky blanky noise, but there we go. Okay, so what we got here? Charge. Okay, you got the 5 charges. Hold on a second. I want to make this better. I want to make it Alright, I'll tell you what. We'll just go through it this way. So you got charge number 1. charge number 1, the original charge, sexual battery in the 5th degree, a 5th degree felony, and his indicted charge is sexual battery, 3rd degree felony. So this is obviously his. Okay, date of offense, 1st of August 2021. Justin Downing, you fucking pig. 1st of August 2021. The second charge, unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. Original charge, unlawful sexual, 3rd degree. Indicted charge, 3rd degree. And that was pled down. Yeah, that's part of the plea deal. They amended it to no charge. The third one, charge 3, 3rd degree felony, sexual battery. Original charge, 3rd degree felony. Indicted charge, 3rd degree felony, but that's dismissed in the plea deal. Charge number 4, original charge, 3rd degree felony, sexual battery, and indicted charge, 3rd degree felony, sexual battery, also dismissed as part of the plea deal. And the final one, the charge of sexual battery, 2nd degree felony. The original charge was rape, 1st degree felony. He was indicted on rape, a 1st degree felony, and they plea bargained down to sexual battery, a 2nd degree felony. What a fucking pig. He won't even come clean about the rape. He raped his own child. Justin Downing raped his own fucking child. So here's all the records following all the events and everything, how it all went. You notice that every time there was a plea or trial date, he continued. Remember he was telling me that on the 11th of June there's a date where he continued. Then he was arraigned. Oh yeah, on the 7th of 11th of July 2022 he was arraigned and he pled not guilty. And then they had they had to set a trial date. And then they had a suppression hearing. Then they had another trial date, 24th of October. Finally, on the 17th of January, a date is set for them to set up a plea or a trial setting, and that's continued. Everything is continued. And it looks like on the 6th of February, the plea or trial date was vacated. The jury trial was vacated on the 28th of February, that was set for the 28th of February, 1st of March, and 2nd of March. That was vacated. Because on the 23rd of February, Justin Downing plea bargained his way out of a trial. And the sentencing hearing, as you can tell, is set for the 3rd of April, 1 month from now. That's where he hopefully receives his full 17 years in prison as a convicted child rapist. Here's all the information regarding all the processing and serving and everything. Basically, here's all the here's his account. Basically, he's charged $145, $2 here, $2 there. But here is the bond. The bond that was deposited on the 9th of May. A bond was deposited of $1,000 because he came up with the 10% amount, the 10% of the bond of the amount that you're bonded. You have to come up with in cash. He did $100. And then he was, where does it say? This is when he was, where am I looking? For when he got the GPS. Okay, I got too far. Trial setting. No, the GPS is up. He's up here. He's up here. Sorry about this, but I lost my place. Yeah. Here we go. On the 17th of May 2022, there's a motion to modify the bond to allow GPS access to a different place where he is now. Before that, here we go. On the 9th of May 2022, the bond is set at $10,000 with a 10% down payment with GPS and other conditions. So ever since the 9th of May, he has had a GPS monitor tied around his ankle or wherever. And the earlier video that I did with him was from June of 2022. So May, so when when he was saying, look, watch me go outside because I'm not under a house arrest, he was under house arrest. I think I've got off my chest exactly what I wanted to say about Justin Downing today. There is a sentencing date of a month from today, April the 4th, 3rd of April, a month from now, is the 3rd of April, is the sentencing date. So that's when we know how long this cockroach is going to be serving time in state prison, and we'll hear the handcuffs being placed around the wrists of Justin Downing before they take him into the darkness of the state prison, where he will enter with a criminal record containing the fact that he's a child rapist, a child molester. And it'll be very interesting to hear what his fellow prisoners think about that. Justin, you might not survive even the first day, but who cares? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Sydney Winston. This has been Reason Speak. I'm out.